Hey, everybody, John Harris here with you with my pal Billy Smith, co-host here. We are on the cheap seats. We're sitting in them anyway, getting ready for this Sunday's big NFL opening weekend. I took a smacking the other day. My Chiefs didn't come to play, it looked like, at least on offense. Their receivers couldn't catch a ball. I mean, they said hands of stone. I don't even know if stone was that bad. It's more like iron. I mean, them things were bouncing off their hands. Mahomes is hitting guys and they're dropping balls like crazy, which is a shame to say that he needs Kelsey, and hopefully he comes back this week. But they got to do something. I guess the Stickum gloves didn't. They got them from. I guess they got them from China. They didn't get the right size, or they didn't get enough Stickum on them. Cheaply made Stickum gloves, and they couldn't catch a ball. So that's what happens. You try to save a buck, Bill.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I tell you, the one standout was the receiver Rice, the rookie Rice. I think maybe they should start looking at him even more. Because Tony, Tony's too always up and down.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and you know what? I blame that game on Andy Reid, actually. I mean, yeah, you had the drops and everything, but when you got 2nd and 1 or 3rd and 1 and you're not running the ball, I mean, it's just you're doing jet sweeps on stupid plays. It's
yeah.
just just go with straight at 'em football, just get between the tackles, right up the middle, whatever. Um, I blame Reed a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. You got to make an adjustment, and there really weren't many adjustments. I think they thought they could beat them the way, straight up, and they didn't. So and give the Lions credit, man. They're there to play. They're hungry. If you think about it, defensively, the Chiefs didn't do bad. Really, the Chiefs only gave up 14 points on defense, because one of those was that pick six from a dropped ball that deflected. That one was a little bit behind, but that's still a catchable ball. And when he deflected it, and the Lions secondary picked it off and returned it for 6, and that was it. So things happen. Yeah, it's football. That's why, as Herm Edwards used to say, and many others have said, that's why we play the games.
We played a game.
Play the game. So we both missed on the over/under, and we both. You hit the cover? I think you did.
I hit the cover.
You
Yeah, I
hit
hit
the
the
cover. I did not. So you are ahead in the odds, and we're dead even so far, of course, at 1-1 or 0-1 on the straight up picks. So, all right, buddy, I'm gonna go through, and if you know of any notes as we go through the games, let me know. I've seen a couple here. I'll mention as we get to the games. Carolina is at Atlanta, and the over under 39.5. Atlanta is picked by 3.5, and the point spreads are updated as of about half an hour ago.
Okay. And what was the spread? I'm sorry.
3.5. Atlanta by 3.5 in Atlanta.
Yeah, Carolina with a rookie quarterback and whatnot, and being on the road. I think I'm going to take the Falcons and give the points.
Okay. I think you just did.
And
I did.
okay, and then the over under. Let's go with the over. Go.
That's what I did. 39.5 I thought was kind of low. I know it's early in the season, but even if Atlanta makes Carolina make a couple of mistakes, defense could return some points. So yeah, I'm going over to 39.5 as well. Houston and Baltimore. 9.5 is the spread by Baltimore, and 43.5 points is the over under.
That's all a big spread. Once again, we got a rookie.
Right, it is a division game though.
We're talking rookie quarterback again on the road.
Yeah, quarterback on the road opening his NFL career.
Yeah, that's not good. So I think I'm gonna take the Ravens, no doubt. I think I'm gonna give the 9.5.
You're going to give it up.
Yeah.
And the point spread is 43.5.
Uh, that's gonna be a little tricky. I'm gonna take the under.
Ooh, there we go. Okay, I took the over. And just a hunch, I got Houston covering because, like you said, it's a big spread.
Hmm.
So I think Houston might hang around. You never know. And Baltimore basically is going to run a new offense, or at least with some new people. So it could take a while to gel a little bit. Cincinnati at Cleveland, big over under 47.5. Cincinnati is picked by 2.
Yeah, this could be one of the games of the week here. Cleveland's improving,
Yeah.
and it's in the dog pound. But
Mhm.
I just got to go with the better offense here and take the Bengals -2,
Yeah.
and I will take the over.
I took the under just on a hunch, but I did the same thing. Game wise, I took Cincinnati. One thing to watch out for is Joe Burrow's cleared to play, obviously, but what's his mobility like? That's the thing. With that calf strain, he might not be quite as mobile as normal. Cincinnati's offensive line has been bad the last couple of years. Burrow's been like, if not the top sacked quarterback, pretty high up there the last few years. So he's been taking a beating. They took some steps to improve it, but this will be the first game with that improved line, supposedly improved line. So we'll see what happens. I took the under on 47.5. Did you make a pick on that on the over under?
Yeah, I took the over.
You did take the over. Okay. Uh, so I'm thinking Cleveland will hang around, but I went with same with you. It's only 2 points, so a field goal even for Cincinnati gives you the win. So I took Cincinnati as well there. Jacksonville at Indy. The spread is 4.5, which surprised me. I thought it'd be a little bigger under the circumstances, and 46 is the over under. I can tell you now, I took Jacksonville. I took over. I just think they're going to blow them out. It's a rookie quarterback again. This one's at home, but I just Jacksonville to me is an up and coming team, and
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why it's probably 4.5 is because it's in Indy, but I think Jacksonville has got a little too much more than Indy, so I'll do the same.
okay,
Jacksonville across the board.
okay, you going over as well?
Yes.
Okay. Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Minnesota's picked by 5. The over under is 46.
Uh, I don't know how much scoring Tampa Bay's going to do. They take, no Tom Brady. They got Baker Mayfield. Um, it's in Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota -5 and take the over was what? I'm sorry.
46.
I'm going to take the over.
Okay. I did as well. I did take the under with Cleveland, Cincinnati, by the way. I don't remember if I told you. I think it'd be a little
Yes.
less than 47.5, but I was over with Jacksonville, and I'm taking the over with Minnesota as well. The only thing is, I think Tampa Bay may cover the 5 points. Because they do have some weapons. I mean, they have some good receivers. So I think if Baker gets just a little bit of protection and they can run the ball, they don't need to have a 100-yard rusher. But if they can have a guy, their running backs get you 60 to 70 yards, it might be enough to open things up for Baker to throw some. He's a competitor. I like him. I know. Is he a step down from Tom Brady? Yeah, but so is just about every other quarterback that ever played. and I'm not a Tom Brady fan, so that'll tell you. Is he a step
No,
or two lower than Tom
he's a
Brady
whole
on the ladder?
he's a
Absolutely.
whole he's a whole staircase.
Yeah. 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 He's reaching at the bottom rung where Tom is like, get this ladder out of my way. I don't need this thing. Um, the only thing I will say though is Baker's a little more mobile than Tom Terrific was, at least toward the end. So he may get you out of a couple jams and keep a play going. But I think Tampa is going to cover, but I do think Minnesota is going to win, and I took the over. I think it could be a little bit of a shootout. If Baker has a good day, then him and Cousins are going to be shooting it out, I think. I mean, you
All right,
got
so we both got
Jefferson on Minnesota side. That's phenomenal. But you got a couple
all right.
guys over there on the Tampa Bay side, in Evans and Godwin. So no slouches. At least at that end. So I think it could be a pretty close game. So I think Minnesota will win, but I got Tampa Bay to cover, and I went over on the 46. I think that's the only way Tampa Bay will cover or stay in the game is
Right.
kind of a shootout.
All right. Yeah. So I got Minnesota across the board
Yep,
and then
you
the
did.
over.
And the over. And I took the over, but I got Minnesota with Tampa Bay cover.
Mhm.
Tennessee in New Orleans. Tennessee is picked by 3, and the over under is 42.
That's an interesting number there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Uh,
Two
I
pretty good
think
defense.
pretty good. Saints are at home.
Yeah,
They got Derek Carr as their starting quarterback this year.
yeah,
They got Michael Thomas is fairly healthy,
yeah,
and the rookie last year, Olave,
yeah.
really looked good. So
Yeah.
I think I will take the Saints across the board here,
Oh,
and 42. So that's. I think I'm going to take the under in this.
that's the only difference. I even put it as my upset pick. I put New Orleans across the board, but I did take the over. But yeah, well, I'm the same way. I Derek Carr's an upgrade at quarterback for them. I think they're looking at him to be at least the next 2-3 years, maybe 4, to be their quarterback for a few years. I mean, he's not a spring chicken, so you don't make him a franchise guy forever. But I think he's their franchise guy for now, you know. And then you draft somebody and get him groomed and all that. But I like Derek Carr, I always have. He's a competitor, he's a tough guy. And I
Mhm.
think same thing. I think with the weapons you said they have, I like their weapons more. I mean, yes, Tennessee has Derrick Henry, uh, and D Hop now, right? They got
Yeah.
Hopkins. But Tannehill been a little injury prone last couple seasons. So I'll have to see what happens there. I think they did draft somebody probably to be their franchise guy, but that's going to take a year or two away. So I like New Orleans in this as well, same as you, but I think there'll be more than 42 points scored.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Pittsburgh. The spread is Niners only by 2. 41.5 is your over under. It's in Pittsburgh. That's probably why it's only 2, but I am surprised on 2 fronts here. Me personally, I am surprised it's only 41.5. And I am surprised that it is only a 2-point spread, though I think Pittsburgh is improved. And they have a pretty good defense. Yeah, I think the Niners are one of the elite teams in the NFL, and I don't think Pittsburgh's quite there yet. I think they're improving. I like the Pickett connection.
Mhm.
But I think they need a better running game, and they might need to shore up the defense just a little bit more. But I like San Francisco in this across the board, and 41.5 seems low to me, so I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Niners also across the board. Like you said, -2 is not not much.
Yeah,
Uh, but over here on the East Coast, there's going to be a lot of rainy games. So
Oh, really? Okay.
I think that could actually be a, yeah, you're right. 41. Let's go to the over with that
Okay.
also.
We're all on the same page there too.
I was going to take the under, but I don't.
I just think San Francisco could almost score 41 and a half by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you're only talking 6 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. Between the two teams. And I think Pittsburgh, I mean, I think the Niners will have at least four of those. So, Arizona against Washington in DC. Your Commanders are favored by 7. The point spread is 38. Soon as we're done, I'm suiting up to play quarterback for the Cardinals. So there's a hint for you.
Yeah, Arizona is probably going to be the worst team in football this year.
Oh yeah.
I know Washington's missing Chase Young.
Yes.
McLaurin is should play. Um, Quarterback Hal is pretty decent. So we're going to take Washington -7, and this is a tough over under. Let's guess because I don't see Arizona really doing much at all. We're going to take Washington and we'll take the under.
Okay. I took Washington, but I did take the over because I think there could very well be some defensive touchdowns in there too for Washington. So
True.
um, Green Bay, Chicago, 41 and a half is the over under. The spread, it's in Chicago, is 1 point.
Wow.
I was surprised by that. I thought it'd be 3
Yeah.
or 4. But
Yeah, I would think.
one.
Yeah, I totally agree. 3 or 4 points. Green Bay's also banged up.
Yep.
Christian Watson, their top receiver, is not playing.
Watson, you're right. Watson.
Um,
Yep. Matter of
I
fact,
mean, Love.
Packers notes are crossing the board right now, and that was the first thing they put on there is that he's out.
I mean, quarterback Love hasn't really showed me too much to
Yeah, but I don't think that's his fault. I think he hasn't had any weapons. Now they did just say for the Bears that Robert Tonyan, the tight end, is out. So, but that's really that looks like that's the only Bears.
yeah, and he's a backup tight end. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
yeah. So this one's pretty easy for me. I'll take Chicago across the board. 41.5 is the key because Green Bay's defense is pretty good. I'm going to take the under on that. For some reason, the first week here, I think offenses are going to have a tough time.
you might be
Let's
right.
go.
I took the over just for fun. So at least we'll have some differences on over under. It looks like, bud. So that's good.
Yeah.
Vegas, Denver. 43 and a half is the over under. It's in Denver. And the Broncos are picked by 3.5. And like you said before, I'm sure that's because it's in Denver, to be honest with you. I took Denver across the board with the over. But I am questioning it because it looks like Jerry Judy's going to be out for Denver. And if that's the case, no, I still think Denver's gonna 3.5. I'm still gonna stick with my pick and go with Denver. Jimmy G hasn't really played a game. Well, he hasn't played a game yet for the Raiders. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my original pick. But I might change my over under. I took over. I think I'm gonna go with under instead. And watch me regret that later. Because you know what happens every time I change. It's good. Well, I'm going to change
Originally
under, but I will take Denver across the board.
I'm going to take Denver, but
Right.
I think it might only be a field goal, so I'll take that extra half point.
Yeah, that's what I did too. So
I'm gonna take the Raiders to cover,
okay.
Broncos to win, and I'm gonna go over the.
Oh, okay. Well, I changed, so watch you be right now with the over, and I'll be like, son of a. That is what it is. All right, bud. Here's to me a pretty interesting game. Miami and the Chargers in Los Angeles. Now,
Mhm.
that doesn't mean a whole lot for home field advantage for the Chargers, or at least it hasn't lately. Last couple of years, even though they moved there. Seems like
Mhm.
with the Chargers, the visiting teams travel well. All of them seem to. Chargers are picked by 3. The over under is, hang on to your expanded jockstrap, ladies and gentlemen. It's 51. They are
Wow.
expecting a shootout in LA.
Yeah. And both are high powered offenses. There's no
Yes.
doubt.
Yes.
But San
Now,
Diego's defense ain't that great,
San Diego.
or at least, yeah. Give
I
me
know.
San
I
Diego.
did the same thing.
There we go.
Same with the
Every time
Raiders.
the
I fight
Chargers.
that Oakland. Even when they were in LA before, I always still thought of them as Oakland. It's hard for me to go Vegas. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard. So I purposely have been saying Vegas, Vegas, Vegas. Chargers, I do still do the same thing. I was a kid, San Diego was the thing for the Chargers, and I can't, it's hard to, think of the lightning bolt in LA when it was great in San Diego.
Yeah. And I mean, the same thing that with the Commanders and the Redskins. To
Yes.
me, they'll always be the
Oh, that
Redskins.
Commander's name is awful. I still hate it. They have new owners. I'm hoping after this season they decide to ditch that name. I mean, I did like the Washington football team name better than the Commanders. Oh, so the Commanders. Oh, please. That's just awful. I'm sorry, bud, but you're right. I'm agreeing with you, and I'm sorry because it's your team, and but that name just sucks. Oh, the Linguinis. What's
Um,
that? I mean,
but this is San Diego. San Diego. There I go again.
there you
The
go again.
Chargers.
I'm the same way.
The Chargers is one of my favorites for the year to come. So I'm gonna take the Chargers across the board and take the over.
Woo, you're taking the over. I took the under. It's the highest point spread game of the week. So I took the under, though I originally had the over. Um, but I'm going to take the under only because, well, there's 2 reasons. One, the Chargers are going to try to run the ball more, but not just with Eckler. They have a back that they drafted. So they're hoping for a 1-2 punch and they want to run the ball more. And Kellen Moore, their new offensive coordinator, remember, does like to run the ball and set it up a little bit. Which will then, they hope, set up the deep ball that he does like having his quarterback throw, which, let's face it, Herbert can throw the deep ball.
Mhm.
But it may be lower scoring only because I think they may try to run the ball more and control the clock more as a philosophy. So I went with the under just because, but
Okay.
could end up a shootout if both quarterbacks are healthy all day long. And that's always a question for me with Tua. That concussion thing for him scares me for his health.
Hmm.
As far as football too. I mean, I guess the key will be the first few hits he takes, and is he going to change his game? Or are they going to make him change his game because of that?
Right.
Might tell him don't be as mobile. Well, that makes him a lot less exciting
Mhm.
than he used to be. So we'll see.
And once you've been doing that your whole life, it's hard to
It's hard to
stop.
change. You're not going to change it. Go, oh, I run smarter now. Like Josh Allen, they used to say, he goes head first to people, but we're going to try and have him run smarter. And then I watched him last year. No, didn't happen. And it's not going to. Same with Hurts, same with Lamar Jackson. Those guys, that's what they are, you know?
Yeah.
So you can't tell them not to do that. And look what happened with Watson last year. He was running for his life a little bit, but he wasn't part of the offense as far as running. Same with Russell Wilson. That's what those
Mhm.
guys are. They're mobile in the quarter in the pocket too. And yeah, you take that away or some of that away and you got problems. So
So you're
Philadelphia.
taking
Yep, sorry, go ahead.
you're taking the Chargers.
Yes, I'm taking the Chargers
Okay.
across the board. I took the under on the spread.
Okay. Okay.
44 and a half is the over under. Philadelphia in New England. The point spread is 3.5 for Philly.
-3.5.
Philly to win 3.5. Judy, yes,
Yeah.
and it's confirmed. Well, it's not confirmed for sure, but it says Judy is questionable against the Raiders. Cornerback for Denver. Moss is also not expected to play against the Raiders tonight. They haven't ruled them out completely, but it said they're not expected to play.
Okay.
Philadelphia, New England. Like we said, 3.5. It's in New England. 44.5 is the point spread.
Well, New England has been poo-pooed the last couple of years.
Dude.
Um, and the Eagles 3.5 doesn't is not a lot. So I'm going to take the Eagles across the board. Um, we will go. I think I'm going to go under 40.
Okay. I went over. But other than that, I'm the same. I think Philly's gonna win by a little more than 3.5. I don't think it'll be much over, but I think it'll be over.
Yeah, I think it could be like 31-10, something like that.
Could be. That could be right. Which would be not enough. You're right. The Raiders and Seattle.
No, that's not the Raiders.
And it's 46. Seattle's picked by 5.
Who are they playing? They're playing the
Raiders in
Rams.
Seattle. Oh, I'm sorry. It says
Rams.
Raiders. I'm sorry. It's Rams in Seattle. Cooper Kupp is out. He's been put on the IR for 4 weeks. He'll be
And the
out for 4.
spreads are what?
Huh?
What's the spreads?
Oh, I'm sorry. 46 is over under. Seattle's picked by 5.
Yeah, the Rams are really going to be hurting on offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they're gonna be helping up uh old man Stafford a lot. I'm sorry, sir, I didn't block him. That sir thing is funny. But
um, yeah, I definitely take the Seahawks -5 over under. Ugh.
uh
These are tough. The over unders are tough this week.
they are. Well, that first week or two until you see what everybody's doing, it's hard to. That's why I
Yeah,
always fall behind you the first 2 or 3 weeks.
yeah. We will, but I think I'm going to take the under in this one also.
I did that as well. We're same across the board on that one. Giants against the Cowgirls in New York, well, New Jersey. 45 is the over under. It's tonight. It's the Sunday night football game. And the spread is Dallas by 3. I did just see that it looks like Darren Waller will play tonight for the Giants. So
Yeah, he's another one that he had 2 hamstring problems last year.
yeah,
I don't know if the trainers aren't doing something right or whatever, but it seems like it's always a lingering, same old injuries.
yeah. Once you get one, it hamstring especially, they don't go away right away. There's always
Right
some
away.
weakness for a few weeks. Usually hamstring, quad injuries, those kinds of things are probably related, or can be related, I should say, not probably, can be related to dehydration. You pull a muscle in summer, those summer two-a-days, chances
Yeah,
are that's what it is.
yeah. I totally agree with you on that.
So I took Dallas to win. The Giants somehow cover, even though it is only 3 points. It wouldn't surprise me if that's a push in the end. A field goal wins it, and it's and I took the over on 45 points.
Yeah, this is one of the games that we played in the rain. Might be clearing up maybe by halftime or so, but I think Dallas has too much firepower offensively. So I will take Cowboys across the board.
Okay.
And 45. Giants defense isn't too shabby. Dallas defense is pretty good. I'm going to go under 45.
All
I have a
right.
lot of differences in over and under.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there. And our last game of the day, and before we go into it, which is Monday Night Football, we need to talk about our sponsor. So let's chat about my friend Dennis Ingraldi from Vineland Realty Corporation in Vineland, New Jersey. They're at 634 East Landis Avenue, and their phone number is 856-690-9482. Give Dennis and the folks a call if you have a real estate need, whether it's business or residential related, leasing, buying, selling, renting it out, or even purchasing a business. Let yourself talk to some experts in the South Jersey area. If they can't help you themselves, they will find resources. And I know they found resources for people even out of state. So for transactions there. So give them a call. That's Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue. Let's give you their phone number again, 856-690-9482. Get down and talk to Helen. Dennis's Girl Friday, and that's my pal Dennis Ingraldi, Vineland Realty Corporation. And we thank Dennis for helping us all out with these Public John podcasts. He's been a friend of all the shows for at least the last 2-3 years, maybe even longer. So thanks, Dennis, once again. And thanks to all the crew down at Vineland Realty. So that's our little sponsorship tease before we give you what some people are going to consider the game of the week, if not the most interesting game, and that's the Monday night game. Buffalo and the now Aaron Rodgers-led New York Jets from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. It's a 2.5-point spread favoring the Buffalo Bills. It is 45.5 on the over-under, and this game could be the most interesting one of the night.
Yeah, this is should be a real doozy here. Both defenses are pretty good, by the way. So I mean,
Yes.
45 and a
We're
half
really
is
looking at the
probably right on the
quarterback. You're right. The defense is really the story.
Yeah, they're both right on the money with the point spread.
Yeah.
But until I see a couple games under with Rodgers there, I'm going to go with Buffalo uh, across the board. It's just a matter of 45 and a half, and I'm going to go over anyway on this one.
You're gonna go over?
I'm going to go to over 45 and a
All right. This is my second, and since you picked the other one, this will have to be my official upset pick of the week. I'm thinking the New York Jets Jets. Though I originally did have Buffalo across the board, I'm thinking the Jets. They're at home. Rodgers has a lot to kind of prove. That can go either way. But they went out and got him a couple extra weapons. Plus, the Jets did have some weapons before, just not a quarterback to get him the ball. This quarterback can get him the ball. I think he's been a leader, which the Jets needed on offense. They already have a good defense. Actually, some would say a great defense. Buffalo's defense is no slouch. What's really cool is Hamlin is going to be able to play now. I don't know if he's a starter, but he is back on their roster. He is an active player. That's great to see after him having that coronary incident on the field last year, the heart attack after being hit. It's great to see that he's back. That's the humanitarian part of the game, as well as maybe the most humanitarian comeback story in the NFL right now. But I see the Jets being able to control Buffalo's running game, forcing Josh Allen to pass. Not necessarily always a bad thing for Buffalo. But I think the Jets are going to be a little more balanced on offense than they have been for a while. And I got a feeling they're going to edge out a tough one. Wouldn't surprise me if it's a 27-24 game, but that would mean that the Jets would cover the 2.5-point spread, and it would mean I would get the over. So I'm going Jets, Jets, and I'm going over on my upset pick of the week.
Very good.
So there we have it. Our differences, let's look them up. We both took Atlanta, and we both took the over against Carolina. We both took, well, I took Houston to cover. Otherwise, you went with the under on the point spread of 43.5. I went over. You took Baltimore across the board. I took Baltimore to win, Houston to cover. We both took Cincinnati against Cleveland. You took the over on the 47.5. I took the under. We both took Jacksonville against Indy and the over at 4.5 and 46-point spread. You went across the board with Minnesota and the over against Tampa Bay, which is 46. I took Minnesota as well, except I took Tampa Bay to cover, which is a 5-point spread. So I think that one could be a little interesting. So we have a difference there. We both took New Orleans across the board against Tampa Bay, which is really an upset pick because, or not Tampa Bay, I apologize, against Tennessee. 42-point spread there. We both took New Orleans to in an upset pick, and you took the under of 42. I took the over, and that's a difference there for us. We both took San Francisco in the over against Pittsburgh only because it's a 2-point spread. We took the over on 41.5, and we both took the Niners to cover. We both took Washington across the board against Arizona. I took the over at 38 points. You took the under. But we think I'm got my arm loosened up. I'll be throwing balls for Arizona in about 3-4 hours. Well, yeah, it's an early game, so I got to get to DC pretty quick. Let me see. Chicago, Green Bay. We both went Chicago. It's only a 1-point spread. So I went on the over. We both took them to cover. I took the over on the 41.5. You took the under. Vegas, Denver. 3.5-point spread, picking Denver. You took, did you take Vegas? You took Vegas to cover. And Denver to win. I took Denver across the board. You went with the over 43.5. I went under. I still don't know why. Originally, that's the one I changed, wasn't it? Yeah, there it is. There's the change. So just a hunch. I don't know why. Miami against the Chargers, 51 points is the over under. You took the over still. I went with the under. That's the biggest over under point set for this week. Chargers picked by 3. We both took the Chargers across the board. 44.5 is the over under in Philly, New England. In New England, Philly picked by 3.5. We both took Philly across the board, though you went under on the point spread or on the points. I took the over. Rams, Seattle, it's 46 points on the over under. Seattle picked by 5. We both took Seattle across the board, and we both took the under, which is unusual, but we did that. It's unusual 45 and up that we stay the same, but we did that. Sunday night, tonight, Dallas and the Giants. 45 is the point total for Dallas, and the over on over under. Dallas picked by 3. It's in New Jersey. You're taking Dallas across the board. I took Dallas to win, but I took the Giants to cover. And like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a push. If the Giants somehow kick a field goal to win and it becomes, 31-28 game or something. So, Buffalo and the Jets, our last game, which is Monday Night Football, or Monday Night Football being brought to you by Violent Realty Corporation. 45.5 is the over under on the points. In the last game, you took Dallas or you took the under on Dallas Giants 45. I took the
Yes.
over. And Buffalo and the Jets, you took Buffalo to win by more than 2.5. We both took the over, but I took this as my upset pick of the week, and I took the Jets across the board to win and to cover. So there we do have a couple differences in that scenario. So it'll be an interesting week. Over under, we got quite a few differences, and we've got about 3 game differences as far as picks and covers. So that should be a lot of fun there, Bill, to watch for the week.
Yeah. Welcome back, NFL.
Yep. Welcome back to the NFL. Welcome back, you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We will talk to you next week. For my pal Billy Smith, for Dennis and Graldi and the folks at Vineland Realty, we want to say thank you for tuning in. Enjoy week 1 of the NFL, everybody. Have a great week.